Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do another culture shocks because it was quite popular last time and we've been here a bit longer now. 5 months I think, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, so take it away, Annie.
It's going to be a bumpy ride. Number 1, free public barbecues. So this is something which is absolutely incredible to have in Australia where the weather is absolutely stunning. So they actually have free public barbecues that anybody can use at any time. Often they're kind of sheltered, there's a lovely seating area. Sometimes they're by the beach as well or next to a kid's playground. So a lot of people have like kids' birthday parties there just completely for free apart from obviously the food. You don't have to pay at all. And there's always a tap. I know it sounds silly, but there's always a tap nearby, free water as well. Yeah, they're great. We have barbecues on them all the time. And obviously people might be like, do they get cleaned? You know, because other people are using them and they're kind of just out in the open, aren't they? But the council do clean them however often. They always look really clean. Like we've never come across one that's a bit...
No, around here they're really well kept, I think.
Yeah, and we also use like a barbecue mat anyway, just in case, which are really good. It's always amazing when there's free stuff.
Yeah, we're not sure if they do this in other states, so let us know.
Yes.
But yeah, in Queensland they're everywhere. Number 2, yeah, putting air in your tyres is free over here. It's something that shocked us. In England you have to pay about £1 every time you want to fill up your tyres.
About $2, don't you?
Yeah, about $2. So
yeah.
It was a nice surprise that it's free over here and you can just rock up and do it without having to worry about having change.
Do you know what? It's funny because I was speaking to some Aussies. I said, I can't believe that air for your tyres is free. And they looked at me and went, what do you mean? And I said, well, you have to pay for it in England. And they went, you have to pay for air. Yeah. I said, yes, you do. I know it's like obviously just a really minor amount to pay, but the fact it's free, it's just so much free stuff. And I love it. It just adds to the whole culture, doesn't it? It makes you feel good. You're like, oh, great, it's free. Especially when you're not used to it, I suppose.
Yeah, you're not feeling like you're being squeezed for everything every second of the day, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. I really hope that there's no snakes in that bush behind us.
I think we're good.
I'm not being funny, but they have been sighted around here. Some red bellies. They have. Don't do that. I'm a bit scared now.
Number 3, speaking of wildlife, it is very noisy, especially in the mornings.
And evenings.
And evenings, yeah.
Do you know what? The birds here are on another level. I don't know what it is. I don't know what they eat, but they are so loud to the point where in the evening or the early morning, a couple of times I've gone, it literally sounds like we're in the middle of a jungle. Yeah. And we're not. You know, they sound like monkeys sometimes, some of the noises they make.
Yeah. And we're in a pretty built up area as well, so I can't imagine what it's like when you're actually like living in the bush or you know, a little bit more inland. It
sounds that we are not used to hearing.
Well, it's just elevated so much more. Like obviously you hear birds in England.
Yeah.
But
I don't mean that we've never heard birds. But yeah.
But out here it's like they're shouting all the time.
They are shouting, aren't they? And it's funny because when you come out in the evening, as soon as the sun goes down, like we went for a walk the other day, and within the space of 10 minutes, what did we see? We saw about 3 frogs or toads. There could have been cane toads. We saw like 2 spiders running across the path. We saw a cockroach, and I was like, please, please, no snakes come out at us right now because we've ticked everything else off.
As soon as the sun goes down, everything comes out.
It comes out at night, and we shut the door, make sure we're in our house when it's sundown, don't we?
You do, yeah.
I do. I'm getting scared. Oh, it was the mat moved. The wind blew the mat up. I thought there's something there. Oh, I think we need to get away from this bush in a minute. Number 4, public holiday pay is a lot higher for retail staff, restaurant staff, bar staff, which is great. So any public holidays or bank holidays, if you're working on those days, generally depending on what sector you're in, but you get paid a lot more. The customers have to pay a little bit more. There's, I think, is it called a surcharge? Like a surcharge,
everything gets added like 10-15%, I think, on top of the normal prices, and then that goes towards paying the people that are working that day.
Which makes sense because they don't get the day off. You do. You get to enjoy it, and then they get compensated for.
Yeah, it's a nice change.
That holiday.
Because in England, you don't really get paid much more for working specific days off.
No.
Or holidays. It's nice little thing.
We love that. Even though we're not in those sectors, but like we're here for it.
Yeah.
Number 5, in Australia, they get random extra public holidays that you don't get in England. So, for example, for the King's birthday, they had a public holiday here. Brilliant. You don't get that in England, considering that's where the King lives. It's really odd. And also, another public holiday they had, which I think was only in Melbourne, was for the AFL final. and they had a public holiday for it. They'd literally just chuck in random public holidays throughout the year. They're like, there's this sports event on, let's have a public holiday.
Yeah, I'm for it. Any reason to have a day off.
Don't get me wrong, it's not like hundreds of public holidays a year, but you get like a good handful of just random ones that you would never ever get in England. Like you'd never get any extra days off, would you? Love it. Oh, what's that? No, that was like a big bee wasp. No. You know those bright orange wasp things?
I'm going to be a bright orange wasp if we don't hurry.
It's hot today. So hot.
Number 6, another thing we've noticed when we've been to the beaches and stuff is people will just leave their belongings unattended, and they're not worried about people nicking them. And we haven't seen anything like that, have we, before? Well, in England, theft is quite a common thing, but over here in the beaches, everyone sort of respects each other and respects their property. And
that's not to say that it doesn't happen, because it probably has, or somewhere at some point, but generally it's a very trusting culture. And I know some Aussies still leave their cars unlocked, their doors to their houses unlocked. Like we've heard stories and we're like, there's no way we could ever do that, but just it's kind of been instilled in us, isn't it?
Yeah.
To not do that. It's just a very trusting culture, which is really nice. Like everyone's quite laid back. It's just like you're all in the same boat, in the same position. Like when you're at the beach, you all want to go in for a swim together. So like you respect the fact that everybody's in that position and you just don't touch their stuff.
But at least around this area, we've noticed that it seems to be very sort of like you can leave your stuff and you don't necessarily have to worry.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah. It's nice.
It's nice.
Quite nice, actually.
Number 7. So the one thing we have noticed as well is the bin people. They have like these trucks that have like automated pickups, don't they?
Yeah, we'll try and find a picture or a video. We always miss it by the time we get our phones out to try and film it. It's such a random culture shock, but it's really funny because in England you have 4 or 5 people going round, you know, people actually
doing it all manually.
Yeah, that's manually. That's what I was trying to say.
You have 4 or 5 people doing it in England for
literally
one truck.
Physically picking up the bins, putting them on and putting them into the back of the truck. So, but here it's like a cool mechanism. They just drive up to it. Pick it up. Oh.
So yeah, you can have like 1 or 2 people doing it, and yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, we're easily pleased, which is a great way to be. Number 8 is that there's no TV license over here. You do not have to pay for a TV license. You can just watch TV for free. Which I know, obviously in England you have to pay a TV license. How much was it? Can you remember?
It was between 10 and 15 quid, I think, a year.
A year? I thought it was more than that.
No, well maybe, I can't remember.
What's that, £140 a year? We'll look it up. We'll let you know.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, it might have been monthly, I'm thinking.
You're thinking monthly. Yeah, but I think it was about £140, about $280 a year for a TV license in England, which I don't understand it, because you still get adverts, so surely that pays for it. But anyway, it's just something that's been ongoing for like decades, and everybody has to pay it, otherwise you get letters and like people knocking on your door saying you haven't paid your TV license. But here, don't worry about it. It's not a thing.
Why is it a thing?
I don't know. I don't think anyone really gets it, but
no.
There we go. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go and watch our other Culture Shocks video, which was really popular, and a few people did like little stitches for it, didn't they? Yeah. Which is quite cute. I love that. But anyway, if you want to watch it, click here somewhere on this screen, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.